Are you recording?
Good.
Okay, so first of all, my name is Dr. Carl Farinelli, and I want to welcome you to our summer online classes. And this summer we have both Fundamentals of Public School Administration and Supervision and Public School Relations. And the nice thing for those of you taking both classes, so 2 of you are taking both classes at BA, right?
Yes.
And 1 of you is taking only the PR class.
No,
Oh,
no, just the other one.
oh, just the Fundamentals of Public School Administration. Okay. Well, do me
Yes,
a
and
favor.
I'm taking.
Well, do me a favor and pass around a sign-in sheet there, and whoever controls the sign-in sheet and gets a copy to me, post a copy to me, will get a bonus point on discussion board. How about that?
And we might all do that, so.
Yeah, give me your name. Okay, all 3 going for bonus points. I like that. And so let's do 2 things. Put your name, put the classes that you're taking. You might also let me know who your advisor is. That would be helpful. And then, do I have anybody here today who is certification only, who already has a master's degree in another area and is doing only certification? So everyone here today is working on a master's in school administration?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm working on special education.
Ah, okay, so you're taking one of our classes then just as a, is it allowed on your plan? Have you already taken care of that with your advisor?
Yes, because I'm gonna get my certificate in admin once I finish my master's.
Okay, so you will be certification only once you complete your master's.
If you're going for your
Yes.
Okay.
What is it called? What classes you're taking, and then what your degree is going to be in, or if you
Your advisor and your advisor, okay?
an advisor.
Good. So my purpose tonight is that I want to get you started off well. Have any of you taken an online class with me before?
I have.
Okay, well good. So the good news is that the format is very similar in all my online classes, except if you have me for internship, that one is different because it does have some required live classes. But all of my other online classes all follow the same 1,000-point rubric. And with bonus points, it's actually 1,020, but you only need 1,000 points to have 100%, okay? Does that make sense? Everybody,
Yes.
Everybody knows how to drop a 0 to turn 1,000 into 100%, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, hey, I can see your backs again. Okay, so if y'all want to turn around and wave at me, I can see your face at least once. Okay, there we go. So, did a 4th person come in that's just off camera there to the far
Yes.
right?
I did.
Oh, they're okay. I see you. Good. So be sure that you sign in. And so first I'm going to go over some general information for all my classes. And this will be a common format that you can all follow. So the good news, number 1, your first assignment that's due today is a short paper, and you actually get credit for a 10-point posting with this short paper, even though it does not follow the standard 10-point posting format. The standard 10-point posting format is based on Bloom's taxonomy. How many of you have ever heard of Bloom's taxonomy? I bet everybody studied that in undergraduate education, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
any alternative certification people that never had undergraduate education?
Yes.
Okay, so if I take it for granted that you know some of this general education stuff and you don't, raise your hand and stop me. I'm glad to go back and give you a brief catch-up, okay? So, the first 10-point posting is actually credit you get just for doing a short autobiography. I call it a self-biography, and so you only need really 3 paragraphs. Tell me a little bit about your background. You know, you can cover where you grew up or where you went to school. If you've had several jobs, you might want to tell us that as well. You know, hobbies, that kind of thing. If you want a bonus point on that one, include a picture of yourself or you and your family or you and your pet or whatever. If you know how to put a picture with your posting, that'll help us all to have a feeling of community in this class. Because one of our objectives is to make an online class environment as effective as possible, to try to make it as effective as a live class. So I've done several focus groups. Actually, Dr. Renee Cambiano and I did several focus groups to get students in our online program to help us make these classes more useful, more meaningful, to make them be as much a part of what we call the fifth curriculum as possible. Have any of you already had my curriculum class?
No.
Yes.
So if you don't know what the fifth curriculum is, ask her, she knows. But the fifth curriculum is the things that you learn that you will really use. So that's what we're after here, is to try to make as much of your class be things that you'll really use, because then it will be the most meaningful to you, okay? So any of these assignments that you can modify in a way that you will actually use in your career, I encourage you to do that. So anybody know what I call that? Anybody been in any of my classes and know my little saying for modifying your class to fit your career?
No.
Okay, I'll give you one of my little, here's Farinelli folksy saying number 1. I want you to wag the curriculum
The correct.
and don't let it wag you. You knew that, didn't you? So,
Read that. Yeah.
okay, you already read that. So what that means is that you'll look over all these assignments and say, how can these assignments help me on my job or help me to get the job that I want to get? So that's what a master's really should be. That's the great thing about being a graduate scholar, is that you should be able to modify all of this to be things that you really need for your lifelong learning. So the first thing you're going to do is tell me in that first paragraph on your autobiography a little bit about where you've been. The second paragraph, where you are now. So is there anybody here who does not work in a school? Well, that's great. So if you want to, you could use all of these assignments for your school. And if you're going to do a school administration certification, if you can think far enough ahead to where you kind of know what you would like to do for your internship, and if you know an administrator at your school that you really like and would like to have that person be your cooperating administrator, to be your mentor, then you might discuss these classes with her or him, and you might come up with a long-term plan on how to use all of these classes for some big project that you would want to do in your internship. Some school improvement project that you could use at the end. And you could make most of your assignments in your classes fit that project, so that when you get to your internship 1, that's your next to the last semester, and your internship 2 on your last semester, that you would already have all of the background research done about how to improve the facilities to make your project work better, on how to improve public relations to make your project work better, how to in-service your teachers to get them to work together to help your project work better. So all of the resource variables, you know, we always talk about 7 classic resource variables that the school leader has to worry about and has to try to maximize. And those are people. Number 1 is one resource variable. So all the people, we call those stakeholders. Number 2 is information. What information will you need? Number 3, materials that you might need to make your project work. Number 4, programs that you might need. Number 5, money. Number 6, space. And number 7, sometimes the most important, time. How much time would it be? So those are the resource variables that you have to consider when you're coming up with a plan to solve a problem or to improve a curriculum. Anytime you write for a grant, those are usually the 7 resource areas that you have to cover in your grant plan. So when you take my curriculum class, not only do you learn to be a good curriculum leader, but you also learn to be a very good grant writer, since curriculum leadership and grant writing are one and the same. So how many of you have not had curriculum development yet?
I'm not.
Okay,
I
well,
haven't.
I'll be offering that online the second 8 weeks of the fall semester if you're interested. So the second 8 weeks, that's week 9 through 16 of the fall semester, I will have an online curriculum development class that'll follow the same format as these courses. Now, the third paragraph of your autobiography should tell me where you would like to be once you finish this degree. You know, what would you like to do with this degree? Do you want to be a school principal? Do you want to be a curriculum director? Do you want to be a department chair? Do you want to go teach at a junior college? You know, what kind is your long-range plan? I get some people in this program who really don't want to be a school leader. They want to be a community leader, or they might want to be a church leader, or they might want to be a leader in a tribe, that kind of thing. So how many of you have some other ideas of things you would like to do? How many of you think that you'd like to be a principal? Oh, okay, well, we're unanimous, so we'll kind of stay focused on that. Okay, so that is the first video. The first video is that today, by midnight tonight, you need to post a short autobiographical paper, just a short essay. Be sure you have a proper heading. It'll probably be less than 2 pages, so a heading, you don't need a cover sheet. You could just do an APA heading with your name and the class and the date and my name on the heading. And you should, double space it, indent the first line of each paragraph, just regular scholarly APA format for an essay. This is the one paper that won't need any references. You are your own reference. So this is the only graduate paper that you can get away with not having any outside references. Any other paper that doesn't have outside references, you'll lose at least 10 points on those, on 100-point papers, if you don't try to expand your thinking beyond yourself, because part of being a graduate scholar is you say, I don't know everything. I need to expand my thinking. So this is the paper that's going to come just from you. Paragraph 1, where you've been. Paragraph 2, where you are now. Paragraph 3, where you'd like to be, what you'd like to do with this degree. Any questions before I end this video on this first assignment that's due today at the end of session 1? If you were taking this in the fall or in the spring, it would be due by midnight Sunday of the first week. You'd have a full 3 hours and a full week to get that 3 hours of work done. In this class, you have 1 day. A session is 1 day. So any questions?
Yeah, is there a way to redo if we've already done it?
Oh yeah.
And didn't follow? Okay, because I couldn't figure out how to get a redo on that. I've already posted it.
Then you just go in and hit the reply button, and if you get the redo done within 1 session, and that works for every session except session 16. The last session, week 4 on Thursday, we only have 1 day to get that one done. But I'll give you an extra session to upgrade any of these, okay?
Perfect. So just reply to your own.
Just hit the reply button and put your new, whatever it is that you missed, if you didn't put a heading on it, or if you rewrote the whole paper, or you want to add a paragraph, and yeah, I love redos, because that means that that tells me that you are a go-getter who wants to make A's in all your classes, right?
Yes,
Okay.
Exactly.
That's the graduate scholar. That's the beauty of teaching graduate school. That you start getting depressed with a B, and you get really down if you make a C, right? So we certainly don't want any C's, and only want a B if you have some problem that you can't get an assignment in on time, and don't let me know about it. So I expect everyone in this class to make A's. Okay, well, we're going to turn this first video off. How did we do on our time, Rebecca?
14:25.
14:25. Okay, if it's under 15 minutes.